tutorial, the drawing tutorial that I make on an Android phone. I have a Samsung phone I have here, and I typically do all my drawings on here. And many of the videos, all the live streaming practically are done on the phone. And if you have an Android phone, you can draw like me, just like me. And the whole reason for Paintology is to teach you how to draw on your phone and make pretty impressive drawings on your phone. You may think that's not possible, but you will change your mind when you see some of my artworks. Let me show you some of my artworks here. So you can see here, these are some drawings I've done and I've uploaded, but there are loads more than this. This is on the phone, as you can see, made on the phone, and you can see that the way I typically draw doesn't look like digital art. The problem is many people think digital art should be done by tools, but they don't understand the techniques of digital drawing. This was done on my tablet, actually. You can see here, lovely picture of sunset. I love the picture. That's why I drew it in freehand. Yes, many types of drawing. There's the one done a while ago with my finger. Quite like that one. And so many types of this one. Also, it was using the trace method of drawing to show you the real ability of what you can do with just the phone. Okay, plenty of examples for you to look at. Another one, another drawing. So you can't tell, you'll be hard pressed to think this art piece was done any other, on any medium except digital. This is because most people are used to digital being done in a particular way, using lots of tools. Autocorrection is one, and I don't do that. I did manual. You have a lot more control as a person on what you do over any tools that are brought to the table. Don't people rush to thinking that AI somehow is going to dominate everything? And this is wishful thinking. It was the same wishful thinking that happened when the internet came around and all that, and look where we are now. So just be thankful that we've got this technology, because it will help us get be far more productive and helpful. I've been in the technology world for a good number of years, and coupled with some of my passion in art, this is why I brought Paintology about 5 years ago when I really started pushing it, and now it's in its 44th iteration. Yeah, so we have a few users already come online. So let me take you through the app, and if you're a newcomer, you will learn art extremely fast using the Paintology drawing app. Exceptionally fast way to. It's a very fast way to learn art, and the reason is that I show you techniques. I don't show you tools. Everyone thinks the tools is going to get them to draw great, but they will ultimately become dependent on the tools, and then their artwork will be very geared, fashioned around the tools themselves. It's the analogy that I give time and time again. The carpenter, when you want to hire a carpenter to build a cabinet, table, or something, you don't go past him and go straight to his workshop and say, "Yeah, you got this saw that I like. Yep, you got the bandsaw, you got the hammer. Yep, just the right hammer. Okay, you're hired." It's just ridiculous, isn't it? You judge the work quality of output based on what the carpenter produces and what's made, not his tools. He doesn't talk about the tools to you, does he? He talks about what he does. So, in the same manner, digital is exactly like that. You talk about he will teach you, the carpenter will teach you the methods he used with the tools to get to where he is, to get to the piece of furniture that robust, rigid, solid, will last centuries, not few days. See? So that's really the sum of what it's all about. So let me go through a few items. First of all, the app is available on the Paintology. I'm sorry, on the Google Play Store, and you will see the Paintology Paint Draw Learn. So this is the logo. So please download that. It's free. And then the resources you need as shown here. I'm going to show you a few resources. This is the paintology.com website. So please do go to that website and then scroll down a little bit. You'll come across the daily step-by-step video tutorials. Click on this button, and you'll come to this page. This is the page that will show you all the live streams that have been done to date. And today's the 15th, and we're doing a female portrait, as you can see. The reference image is here, and then it's broken into two parts in the produce stream. It'll take you straight to the stream where this is being said. And let me go there, click on that. And let me go there, click on that. So this is a stream that's actually working. And then Paintology is the stream that follows after 10 GMT, where I finish the drawing. So keep this page bookmarked. And the reference image is here. Let me open the reference image. I'm going to download this image, and this is the image I'm going to use as reference to draw. And as you know, I typically use a reference image to draw. And the reason for that is that it's an exceptionally powerful method of drawing. Okay. Reference image. So we're gonna, and then the other resource that I want to mention is, let me see if I can find, is the Quora, paintology.quora.com, and my profile on Quora. So please do bookmark that and follow me. This is where I put a blurb on every single day. Couple of blurbs, not just blurbs, short information on everything I have done to date. Okay, all these drawings you can see here are done on my phone. You see here? So if you want to draw like this without having the tools as the barrier for making these drawings, then yeah, you can do it. But if you want to use the tools and you're comfortable at it, you will be restricted to making very digitized images. Excuse me for 1 second. Hello, apologies for that. And let's get back to where we were. So, yeah, So this is where we are. So this is actually the my profile on Quora, and don't overlook this because I have been answering questions on Quora for a good part of 7, 8 years, and I've written a lot on topics and art related to art. And of course, the Paintology.com has my blog articles that you can read. There are hundreds of blog posts there. So I'm not your typical, just drawing because I fancy drawing on the phone or that. I do this seriously. It takes a lot part of my life drawing, and I'm doing this. This is a drawing I did. Doing this to show you the capabilities. I've taken digital drawing, I think, beyond most other digital drawing apps because I don't dive into tools. I don't provide you with tools. I'm not a commercial person who's going to just give you, you know, trying to make money as the means to go forward. My my aim is for everyone to use this app and to move away to be, if you want to know a little bit about what I want, to move away from being a consumer. That's the problem. It's a lot of people just consume information from social media and they react to it. So they become reactionary. With drawing, you're not reactionary. You are now control. You've now given your mind some peace. You get lost in the moment and you take time out and you draw and you that benefit is so therapeutic, and I feel that everyone has to enjoy that benefit. So that's my real aim in this venture that I've been doing tirelessly for the 4 or 5 years. So I hope you do support me. Everything's free, and eventually I'm gonna have to monetize some of this stuff, the live stream, for example, but it's all free for now. So take full advantage of it and sign up and follow, and you'll probably enjoy the benefits for a long time to come. So let's go back, and this is the home screen. So when you come to the home screen, do not dive straight into the draw section and say, yep, blank canvas. Yep, let me do this. Let me do that. Yep, it's got these. Oh, it hasn't got this tool. Hasn't got this tool. Hasn't got this tool. I'm out of here. You know? Such a sad thing that you can never do without really. That's what quite a few people do that. Because you know what it is, right? It's the nothing gained, nothing ventured, nothing gained. It's a famous saying. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Meaning, you're not gonna know unless you give it a chance or try it. You're just gonna stay exactly where you are. The reason why many people cannot draw and continue to believe to this day they cannot draw is because they've not ventured like the other people that you saw who were good. You probably got a little intimidated by the way they drew. So instead of trying to find out and learn how they did it, you decided, oh, no, don't want to embarrass myself. There's a lot of things to do in my life. So you hence take the shortcut, the short path, which is dismiss it altogether as something you cannot do or a talent that you have to be born with. So I got tired eventually of answering those questions where people say is it something you're born with, a talent that you should possess or something. So if you can decide for yourself after you've seen me what I'm going to present to you and decide if it's an inborn talent or just simple learning skill that's required, okay? And that's all it is. In fact, Paintology has been developed and designed in such a manner because I'm trying to cater to everyone who feels they have their confidence is bruised or they feel that It's a hidden talent. It's because of that that I've aimed to bring techniques that I bring, and the techniques like block coloring does not require any drawing experience at all. So let's go ahead and dive into the drawing. So we downloaded this drawing, you can see here. All right, so this is a picture. So it's a nice picture of a nice woman, probably a girl in her late teens. And I picked this because of the contrasting tones. So this was, you can load any picture. So you see what I did? I went to draw, opened up my gallery and just clicked on that first image that I downloaded. You can take a picture of your grandma, of your child or whatever, and then simply draw block coloring like this. This is not specific to this drawing, but I'm going to show you how to make this drawing. Previously, I showed my daughter yesterday's drawing, and let me show you if I can find it. Yesterday's drawing. Let's see. Let's see if I can find it. If I can find it, I'll show you. Okay. No, shared. Stored. Let me see. I won't spend too much time on this. And then see. There it is. So this is a drawing I did yesterday on the phone. Started from a reference image, and then I showed you how to make this drawing, how to do the shading. You see the wonderful shading that we got on the hat? It gives us some real dimension and depth in the shadows on her falling where the hat rim of the hat lies. It's just a shadow on that right side, then a shadow on this side, and then we did this in less than 2 hours. And in about 2 hours, I actually stepped a little bit, went over the hour, scheduled 1 hour of the second session, but it was definitely worth it. I enjoyed doing this, and I made this with one single line brush, okay, one line brush, and then use the opacity, and we're going to do the same. I feel like I need to carry this, the same method I did yesterday with the line brush. There it is. This was the key to getting the blending, and I'll show you this in more detail. So let's first of all look at this drawing. Every time you want to make a drawing, the problem is people don't think much. That's really bad. I shouldn't say that. The problem is that people don't think beyond what they see, which is natural, right? But if you want to think beyond what you want to see or go beyond, you have to be open. It means you have to be prepared to learn a bit more beyond what you already know. Yeah, and that's the only way you're going to learn, right? You're not, if you keep your mind closed and keep denying the possibilities of skill sets that you can acquire, you will naturally go through life acquiring limited skill sets, right? It just, there's no fact about that, right? It's not straightforward. But if you're a desire or passionate about doing something, you can take it to a high level. This is not just one of my skills. I've taken a lot of skills. I'm a very good into with my hands in developing other stuff like electronics, woodworking, and I'm a technologist, by the way. I've spent most of my life doing online technology, web development, and that's where I'm an advanced user of Photoshop, but I don't use Photoshop for drawing. I could quite equally train you on using Photoshop, which is a beast, but I wouldn't use that for drawing. Drawing is this pleasurable experience. I'm a traditional artist. A lot of my artwork's hanging on walls of people's homes, so I come from that background. I'm a writer, I'm a poet, I dance as well. So a lot of skill set. And in dancing, I'm going to international congress and dancing in front of thousands of people. So you can see, right, that There is no skill that is not open to you if you have the desire for it. And if you keep your mind open, you can expand these skills. So let's look at this drawing now. So you might think, well, how do I get started? What do I do? Well, I've got one line brush here, and then I'm going to do something like this, and then that. That's it, I'm done. No more, I can't do anything. I mean, that's okay. Let's say if you want to do a line drawing, right? So let's go to the line, change the line. Okay, we're going to start with the line. Take it to 1.35%, just for argument's sake. And then you want to do a line drawing. Let's go and change this to grayscale, yeah? So this grayscale, it will be easier to do. And then let's move this bar to black, so you can see here, that's the color, that's the line I have, and we're going to use that to do a line drawing. And what is a line drawing? Line drawing is simply tracing this. I could keep this zoomed out as it is and just follow, right? Or I could have the ability to zoom in and then draw the line. So let's go ahead and do that. So if you think the line drawing is pretty much all you can do, let's do it. And let's take that skill. And then if you can see me do the line drawing with your phone, 1.35, 100%, and you get to this level, you will see that I'm not using any tools. I'm doing exactly what you would do, 1.66%, 100%, okay? So, okay, so we're going to go here, start with the fingers, see if you can do this. Now, if you keep convincing yourself you can't draw, then you should ask yourself, why is it that you cannot do this? Honestly, are you telling me you can't do this? No matter how crooked it is, people will, in the digital world, they will rush to using the autocorrection. Just don't do that. Don't use the autocorrection. Don't use the, don't, just get comfortable in doing this, alright? Don't use the undo. As you can see all these lines I'm looking at, I've got the cursor just above the halfway, and then I'm using the trace to draw. You see, I'm picking up these different areas for my line drawing. Yeah. Surely you can do this, isn't it? If you're saying no, I can't do that, then you have to really seriously think about where you're going wrong, because this is already presented to you, and all you're doing is trace, right? And trace is an excellent way of developing. It's not just for beginners, for advanced people as well. Trust me, when I use the reason why I can draw so well is because I use trace to help me get proportions, volume, shape, all the things you know about art to be an important subject matter, yeah? So let's go there. Right. I'm picking up these contrasting tones, and this really gets you. The reason I'm doing this, a couple of things. First of all, to show you that anyone can simply trace. You can't trace, and people think drawing has to be done freehand, and then you have to look at it. But honestly, if you use trace, you become naturally inclined to do more drawings because you're building up the initial major flaw in most people, which is confidence. Most people are not confident in drawing. Confidence kills the ability to say, yep, I can do this if I did this. In fact, you're not the only one. I had a broken confidence when I stopped drawing and painting for a good part of many years. Just broken confidence, and then it was only when I got paint by numbers hobby kit I started painting, and then it all came back. That confidence just came back, flooding back, and I was much more confident in continuing to develop my skills. Right? Let's have a look. So that's so quick, right? This is what you can do so quickly. There, easy, isn't it? So this is just to show you line drawing, how easy and wonderful it can be for anyone to do it. So that's our line drawing. We're going to save that. So now our next step is, how can we improve on this? Well, let's go ahead and use the line to color the dark areas. Okay, now we're going to use the dark areas, right? So we can say, well, we can do this. Right, just the dark areas. Don't do anything except the dark areas. And what's the dark areas? Look, see, I can see. Let's be very careful about that and say which are the dark areas. Right? We can say we're going to use. See the color I've got. This is the color I have. Right. If I move this here, I'll get a deeper color. Right. So I'm just wondering if I should still keep this color. Yeah. So I'm going to keep this color, what we had, and I'm just going to go the dark areas. Can you see the dark areas? I'm just trying to do the dark areas, not all of it. And then I can see some of the hair with the dark areas. Right, just using my, and naturally this is a dark area here of her clothes, right? Just dark areas here, and then dark areas here, and of course a little bit of a patchy dark area here. So let's draw that, and then of course this here. Let's do that. Let's change up the brush a little bit. Right. Right there, and then I can go here. Oops. I forgot, I went over a little bit, got too excited. Right, let's see what we have. Look at that. Now we're sort of building it up slowly, bit by bit, right? That was a simple art, right? So let's save this. And then now let's go and say, well, there are wonderful dark areas on her. Look at her eyes. They're wonderful, isn't it? So we're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to now introduce another tool, okay? So let's take the brush back to small size for the small features of the eyes, right? Look, it's about the right size we were using. Oh, okay. And then we're going to do something very interesting. Notice how I always have the cursor halfway. And it's a force of habit. And the reason for that is that now I can do something very interesting. I can use this color picker here on the top right, this color picker. This is essentially the the gold mine of a painter or an artist, because the artist in acrylic, watercolors, in pencil drawing, charcoal, pastels, you name it, will be turning to this tool in the digital equivalent. Why? Because it picks out the actual living colors, the real colors that make up a painting, to a marvelous realistic painting that you have seen many YouTubers doing with their pencil, paper, canvas, acrylic, oils, you name it. What they're doing outside of that canvas is that they've got color. They're mixing the colors, getting the exact tones. But the digital, we don't have to do that. Why? Because we got the color picker. Let me show you how this works. Select the color picker, right? Okay, and now just color it here like that. Select the color picker again and land on her eyebrow. Look, did you see this move? Okay, watch it move very carefully. Select the color picker. Do you see it move? Yeah? Okay, that's good. Select the color picker again. Do you see that move? Why is it moving? Well, it's picking the colors of that girl's tone that lies just in around that area where my stylus lands. Okay. Okay. So select color. So it's actually picking the exact tonal colors. It's landing. Can you see it? There. Let's pick another color tone there. See how it's lighter, and it's naturally lighter. Look. See. Let's pick that color picker again. See. Let's pick that color there. Pick that darker color, a little bit darker, and then look what we've done, right? So let's pick that color picker again, just keep going, right? This is no experience required, right? Just pick those colors, right? Just filling in the colors. Now you can see through that. Keep this always the top half. If you don't keep it at the top half, what actually happens is you're going to pick the colors of your drawing, which is in the bottom half. But if you pick it, just keep it over the top half. This is where the reference image owns the trace bar, right? Anywhere around here, you'll pick the color tones, and then I'll show you what I mean. Look at this strands of hair, right? Right? Now, suppose I pick the color picker and pick one of the strands, and then another one of the strands. I'm picking those exact colors. Now, if I pick the in between, it's a lighter color, isn't it? It's a lighter color, right? It's a lighter color. It's a lighter color. So you're basically laying down the exact tones through block coloring. Look, see? That's really essentially what it is. So let's go to a left eye and do the same thing. I'm a pretty quick in drawing, right? So I could pick, you'll see me just rapidly pick the color picker and lay down some of the tones. See, but if I draw like this, I'm always picking the right tones, right? Does that make sense? So I'm picking the right tones that should be on that region, as long as you have it in the top half, right? Just go down to her nose there and pick the areas around her. And notice when I go to her nostrils, you can expect it to be black, isn't it? Look, see? Which it is because you landed on the darker region, right? So I'm just picking the color tones in that region and getting away with doing. That's what most artists do. Practically all artists do that because they've got much higher degree of control over the tones. And you know, tones are talked about in the art world, but they don't have anything to really describe it. All they do is say, okay, in acrylic painting, you're going to mix these tones, mix the colors. You're spending half the blooming time getting the tones. Whereas with this color picker, you got everything. Right? This is the exact tones that are living in this part of the region, and that's what I'm doing. Picking these tones, and then picking this tones there. Look, see how dark that was. Right, let's see what we've got here. Look at that. So how quickly we managed to get that. Right? That's the tones. Now, let's save this. Now, look at this very carefully, right? Look very carefully what's going on. Now, let's use, I'll show you another little tool. You click on the left, you take this, drag this all the way to the right, and then just click back and forth. Remember, we used a grey tone that's about here for, because we're on the left, we can pick the color picker and see what's her jumper. That's the color of her jumper, yeah? Now look very carefully. I'm going to go there and pick the color of her jumper. Look at that. So much darker, and you can tell, come on, you can tell that her jumper is so much darker than that, isn't it? That's the correct tone if you want to apply it, okay? But we got this black tone, okay? So do you want to use the same tone, right? If you do, all you do is color picker, that, go to your thing, and then here we go. There we go, do the same thing we did. All right, let's move this up to here. And now we've got the exact tones of her jumper. We're now trying to get realism in this painting, yeah? So now our tones are now much balanced. So we can say that our color picker is now picking out the exact color tones, and the same here, right? Let's go halfway. Remember, let's go halfway and zoom in, right? And say, oh, this is way too big, so I've got to change that brush size. Let's go and say, so I'm going to take it down a bit, 4%, let's say, and let's pick remember, pick the color tone that actually exists on the girl. There, it's there. So this got to be this color, right? Not the color we originally put down, okay? There it is. Simple. Right, now let's see if we got, yes, there it is. See, we got that. Now the same thing with some of our hairs. See that? See that this tone here, around here, right? That's probably the mid-tone we use to start off the line drawing. Okay, so we're going to change that. Going to again use the color picker, right? And then we can see for ourselves there it's darker, right? Again, we're going to do the same thing. Pick the color picker, and do these tones. Pick the color picker that we thought was dark, but now what we're doing is really getting the real color that should appear. The real color, I should say, tones. Okay. So this is the tones. And you know that her hair on the top is very light here, but it's not completely white as we like to think. It's very white. Right, there it is. So I'm picking so every time I pick the color picker and land, it's picking the color tones of that girl's the actual reference image for that region, right? It's actually picking the exact color tones. So let's go over her neck. Over her neck. And pick the exact tones. Right there. So we know we got, bit by bit, we're going to get, no, keep watching how the cursor is moving on the grayscale. These are the actual real colors of the actual reference image that we now apply to our own drawings. Here, just keep watching that cursor keep moving back and forth. These are the colors we're picking. Just a random bunch of strokes. We're just going by the basis of right there. So let's see what we have here. So we've got the hair, you see? They're not quite done yet, obviously. Now let's take a look at her hands, right? You can see her hands, right? So we just keep using that brush and let's just lay down these colors, right? We know this hand, because I've got experience, I know this tone is increasing that way, right? Tone is going lighter that way because look, it's dark at the edges, then it goes light, then it's dark, okay? So we should be able to capture that through our, there it's got light, wonderful, isn't it? Right, and then capture 3D form that way. This is the beauty of digital, I'm telling you, right? If all the great artists who are now, you know, resting in their graves would probably turn in their graves if they knew they had these tools in there during their time. They would, well, who knows what kind of art they would bring into this world with these tools, yeah? Right, so remember, I'm speaking from an artistic point of view. I'm not talking about art because, oh, the tools are going to do this brush is going to do this. I haven't changed anything from the line brush, and I ain't even shown you what this is. Wait till I come to that, and then you'll be flabbergasted. Right, just getting the tones. Obviously, I just don't want to do it pixel by pixel, which you can do, like in hyperrealism. But with me, that kind of drawing is not my cup of tea. Right, that's it. Look, this is the hand we drew. Look, wonderful, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, running out of time, actually. So I'm going to try and finish this drawing. And then the second part, I'm going to show you how to do it in color. Okay? So this is in black and white color. So now let's go, and then I'm going to introduce you to blending using this density. Okay, so tune into the second part, but let me finish this too. It's something of a tidy, something that you might say, yeah, this is acceptable. Let me go really quickly. I don't want to spend too much time on this. I'm going to use some of my drawing skills. Right, you don't have to do this, obviously you're learning. I didn't expect it to go at this speed anyway as well. So you see, I'm just picking out these tones, just completing the rest of the drawing. Okay, so getting the shade, you see, to be a little bit different shade there. Then see how fast we can go. I lost all track of time, actually, to be honest with you, because I was getting carried away showing you this. Color picker. See how I pick the color picker all the time? Right. Then have forehead, of course. So if you notice the forehead, portrait artists will know that there's a sort of a darker, very subtle change in the tones. That's why the portrait is one of the most challenging, but yet the most pleasing, because you can get the tones exactly right. The artist who's experienced in this. So there you are. So I'm going to just, oops, I'm actually got, right, just do, just finish it off with the brush of the hair. Okay, there, and then just make this a little bit there. Just trying to finish this up because I'm trying to really work with speed. I lost track of time a little bit. Right, so at least it looks more acceptable, and you can say, oh, I enjoyed this tutorial session. Maybe I'll watch the next session tomorrow or something like that. Who knows? Right there. See that? Just improve on it. Why is this thing so annoying? Alright, there you are. Okay, so let's have a look. There you are. So did an interesting piece of drawing. I can see areas where I can probably go in. There you are. And you can perhaps just pick the colors you like and stay on your canvas, just completely over the rest, and pick the colors that you see going on here, and just take that color, use the color picker, so just, yeah, finish it off like that. So in the lips you could say, well, you know, go a little bit lips, you know, just like you would for a normal picture, right? Let's try and see if we can really improve on the lips. This is important, right? So halfway, 2% brush, and then just pick out the tones that are going to matter. At the same time, adding, there, can see I'm just adding the different tones that are coming out automatically. let's see what we've done. Look at that. It's a lot better now, isn't it? Looks like it's a girl, but we can obviously clean it up a little. But anyway, this is the first part of our drawing. I'm going to show you in color and also how to do blending in the second part. So stay tuned, and you'll find the link in the description. If not, please go and visit this page. Which page is it? Let's have a look. Please visit this page of this page, Paintology.com, and then the button. Yeah, this button, pink button, and then you'll see the second part, the link here in Paintology, 10 GMT. So we got like a 5-minute break. So I'll see you shortly. Hopefully you enjoyed this part of the tutorial and you can do the same thing. And then I'll see you in a minute. Thank you. Bye.